Hello and welcome to the Mystical Times blog podcast with me, Michelle Eve. On this episode, we explore some of the most enduring and unsettling legends in British folklore, the black dog phenomena. These spectral hounds are typically described as rather large, jet-black dogs with glowing eyes, often appearing on remote roads, misty moors, watercourses, and in ancient churchyards, from the Black Shuck in East Anglia to the Barghest of Yorkshire and the many regional variations in between. Accounts of these mysterious beasts have been circulated for centuries. Are they merely superstition, psychological phenomena, or something more unexplained? On this episode, join me as I share some of the documented sightings of these haunting creatures. All of the sightings are odd, but all have different endings. These experiences come from the book Unexplained Phenomena by Bob Rickyard and John Mitchell, The Folklore of Ancient Wiltshire by Catherine Jordan, and The Folklore and Mysteries of the Cotswolds by Mark Turner. For the first account of a black dog sighting, we visit the village of Bredon in Worcestershire. Bredon lies on the banks of the River Avon, on the lower slopes of Bredon Hill. Bredon is a pretty village, and not far from the medieval town of Tewkesbury. It was during World War II, and a child evacuee was staying in a cottage in the village. A large black dog, who came out of nowhere, walked past the girl while she sat on her bed one summer afternoon. Its eyes glowed blood red, and she felt its hot breath on her skin. Frozen in terror, she watched it approach the bedroom door, only for it to then vanish completely. No harm came to the young girl, nor to the other residents in the house after this sighting. For the second account, we go to Shipston-on-Stour in Warwickshire. It is a town which is located on the River Stour. The two women were walking their dog along the lonely stretch of the A34 between Shipston and Stratford-upon-Avon. As they reached the isolated rise of Brewery Hill, a hulking black dog appeared ahead of them, standing unnaturally still on the road around 50 metres away. Their own dog suddenly froze, every hair bristling and refusing to take another step. The women stopped too, gripped by a cold dread, and all that they could do was simply stare at the enormous creature. They saw it change from black to white, and then it began to glow. As it began to glow, it ran into a field, rose up into the air, and promptly vanished. Not long after this happened, the women told of this experience to the local historian, and despite the strangeness of the encounter, the historian said the women told it in all seriousness. For the third and final account, we go to the county of Suffolk. This account occurred on the 4th of August in 1577 in a church. The congregation were attending a service that morning when the skies turned dark and a violent thunderstorm came upon the church. The church was said to have quaked, and an unfortunate parish clerk who was cleaning out the guttering at the time was struck by lightning, although injured by it, did survive. Inside the church, chaos ensued. In between the flashes of lightning, the congregation saw the figure of a large black dog. The black dog padded down the aisle, heading straight for the people seated in the pews. Kneeling in prayer and with their eyes closed, two parishioners never saw the black dog approach. It passed in silence and they fell, dead before they hit the ground. The black dog passed another man. He shriveled like an empty sack, yet he survived this incident. Later they found the church's clock machinery mangled and twisted, as if something immense had torn it apart from within. Deep claw marks scored the ancient stones and the iron-bound door, grooves too wide and savage for any earthly animal. This event was so profound that witnesses' accounts were published in a pamphlet not too long after this terrifying encounter. That's all for this episode, and I do hope you enjoyed those 3 accounts of the black dog phenomena. The next episode will be out on the 26th of June, and I will be sharing 2 of my favourite spooky encounters from the podcast. Till next time.